Hello and welcome back to the Making It podcast. We are back for episode 63. As Dan will attest, 4 off the big number. Dan, welcome back to the podcast, bro. Another week, a little bit late this time, but been a bit of a hectic one. How are you, mate?
Yeah, no, I'm really good. I know it's been a hectic one for you. You've moved into a new place, which is really exciting. I've been good. This week's felt a lot more peaceful. This one we're in right now, but the last one, which we'll dive into, I had my last game of the season with the lads I've been coaching all year, and it didn't quite go our way. We had 3 games to kind of get a win, and we've been unbeaten all season in the league, and all of a sudden we drew and then lost 2 and we didn't quite win the league in the end. And I've learned a lot from it. It's been another season where I've learned a significant amount, and there's a lot of reflection to be done there over summer until the new season. And it was tough. It was gutting, but as I said to the lads, you grow through what you go through, and it's another experience to learn as people. And we needed that experience. It happened for a reason. And then dissertations due this week, just doing the final touches, should be handed in on the day we're recording this podcast right now. And then I'm going to go to my granddad's tomorrow and just celebrate. So it's felt peaceful because the season's over. As much as I do miss it, it's been quite nice to kind of relax, not have too much stress about decisions and pressures about winning the league and stuff. But a feeling I do miss still. But it's going to be nice to take a step away, reflect on another year of coaching, and go into the next one. And then I've got Easter coming up. Going to be going home this week for 3 weeks, but I'm in a good headspace right now. I'm feeling good, feeling at peace. How have you been, brother? Because I know it's been a busy one moving in.
No, I just wanted to say, bro, first, before I say anything about my week, I'm proud of you, man. I know that it is good when you're losing those games that are a must win. I've been there, and I think we've all been there. You've been there playing football, I'm sure. And then when you're there coaching football, bro, it feels like you feel like you let yourself down sometimes, and you feel like you're putting all the work and it's for nothing, and it's like that's never the case. Like I said to you, those boys that you coached have developed a lot. They've told you how much they've developed and how much you've helped them develop, bro. And I think that the main aim of a coach is to develop players. And then it comes to getting results. You can't have one without the other. You can't get results without developing players, and you can't develop players without getting the results and all sorts of stuff. So I'm proud of you, bro. Either way. And either way, bro,
Cheers,
you're
brother.
a winner because last year you got just the one win. And this season it came down to one win, and what an amazing scenario that is to think that you've got into that position. You should be very proud, man.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, love you, bro.
Love you too, man.
My week was pretty hectic though. I'm going to be honest. It was nothing. Thankfully, nothing personal or anything like that. It was just moving house. I've moved to a place in North Sydney now. Moving in with 2 of my mates that I work with who could probably be standing outside my door waiting to come and knock and annoy me or something like that. But yeah, I've moved in with Georgia and Bella, so shout out those two. Nice place, man. Nice place. Really beautiful balcony. My room's like really nice. It's only a small bed, but it's beautiful. Loving where I'm living. Quiet area. Easy bus into the city. Pretty well connected. So yeah, it's just been hectic moving in. Having a dinner on Sunday just to celebrate with a few friends. We've got a party on this Sunday to properly celebrate. Probably throw myself off a balcony or something when I'm drunk. Um, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, just getting used to things, bro. A new environment. I got 6 weeks left as of Friday. And we've already had a little chat about when I'm going to come back and stuff. So that'll be interesting. But I don't want to discuss that just yet. Still need to speak to my parents about that one. But yeah, bro, it feels good to be in a place where I've got people around me. When you're in a shared house, even though you're with a load of people, you can feel so lonely, bro. And to be somewhere now where I've got 2 people I'm pretty close with, sometimes we cook together. We have a load of fun. It's a nice house, bro. It's a lovely feeling.
Does
I
it
just love
feel
my
like?
life.
Does it almost feel like you've? We were talking before this about how you've almost built a sort of life now in Australia. You've got something where coming back to the UK, you can jump back into Aussie. You've got a job, you've got a place, and it almost feels like you went through a lot of struggle. Before this, and now you're in a really nice settlement. You got good people around you. Does it almost feel like you've been baking that cake throughout being in Australia, and then this is almost like the cherry on top to kind of end it?
I've been baking that cake, baby. I've been baking that cake. um, yeah, I guess so. You could say I've been cooking a little bit. I guess, bro, I said to you the first 6 months of me being here was awful. That's when I was cooking, bro. That's when that cake was being made. The last few months, bro, I've just been putting the icing on. You know what I'm saying? This has been the sweet part. But you got to make that sponge. You got to. Okay, I'm going to start with the cake. I can enjoy it. You know what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that we put in the work. We got through the first 6 months, which were pretty rough, and there was a lot of stuff going on. And now we're in the good part where we can say, this is awesome. Like, this is the best experience ever. But it does take sacrifice. It does take going through the shit times to really enjoy the sweet times. And bro, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it. As much as I would love things to have gone a bit different at the start. If this was going to be the outcome, should I have gone through all that, I would have chose it every single time. So it's about having no regrets, man. And I would implore anyone who's thinking about traveling to come and just try it out. Just give it a go. It might not be for you, but live by experience. If you enjoy it, you'll stay. Great. If you don't enjoy it, don't worry about it. You've tried. What's wrong with that? You know what I mean? So I just encourage you to give it a go. And Dan, I know that you've been thinking about maybe doing some traveling yourself. Bro, it'd be great to have you out here. If not, bro, we'll just meet somewhere in Vietnam or something. But what are your thoughts on it, bro? Because we were talking about that momentum idea, and I said to you that one of the reasons I didn't want to go home for just a year and kind of have such a big break between me coming back to Australia was because I was worrying about, resenting home in a way and just wanting to be somewhere else. When it comes to living somewhere different, did you ever feel like that a bit with Newcastle? Like, did you kind of feel like that when it comes to deciding your masters? Like, was there ever a kind of thought of, I'm going to have a break? Or did you just think, let's just carry on the momentum?
I think it's an interesting one, and I'll tie it into kind of the traveling part, the Newcastle part, the home part. I think since coming up to Newcastle, I've found, like you have in Sydney, like a second home. I love it up here. I've got my granddad here. I've got a good ecosystem up in Newcastle. I've got coaching opportunities. I've got a sports psychology network. I really enjoy the uni, and I love the atmosphere of the city. Like I've spoke on quite a few episodes before, that conflicted with me going home because I felt like that ecosystem at home was different. But now I've got that new love and that new feeling for home, which is like we speak about, home will always be there, and home's a nice place to go back to reconnect with those people you've not seen for a bit, to spend some time with your family, to be in that environment where it all began. And I think with Newcastle, I have got quite a bit of momentum going right now, and there wasn't really a doubt about go do my masters at Northumbria. I think it was pretty much a gut instinct to go there straight away. So get the ball rolling with that, and then obviously after my masters, I don't want to be thinking too far ahead, but I'm planning on doing a doctorate, and that I'm also most likely be at Northumbria in sports psychology. So I feel like I've got a really good momentum in Newcastle. And however, when it gets to the end of that doctorate, will I stay in Newcastle? I don't know right now. Probably my gut tells me right now I'd probably like to explore somewhere else after that. But right now I would say I've got that momentum of being in Newcastle, doing my masters, doing my doctorate, getting those qualifications done up here. And then after that, like we say, the world's your oyster. And then as far as traveling, it's quite interesting because obviously you've had a year out, and quite a few people like to go traveling. They get the traveling bug and they really enjoy it. And I can imagine it's unbelievable. Like I can see from your experience how much it grows you and how much you see and how freeing it can be. Obviously, it's had its struggles as well, but people have asked me before, like, would you like to go traveling, maybe set some time away for it? And I think my current standpoint on that, it may change, but my current view on that is I've got a I've got a vision with my life, and the sports psychology thing is massive for me. Building that career, that's the thing which I really enjoy. I love that, and that's the thing I'm building right now, and that's the thing I'm aiming towards. And I still want to go to places, visit places. I'm going to be going to Budapest in a couple of weeks with a few of my friends. We go away over Easter, and like I love trips like that. I'll go away over summer. As far as taking a long time away to go for traveling, I think maybe down the line I might do that. But I think I'm so invested in building this sports psychology and coaching career. It's like I don't want to go away from it. And I'll integrate my traveling into that. I'll go on trips away and stuff like that. Um, Whether I'll ever take away a long period of time, like 6 months or a year to travel, I'm not too sure. Maybe after my doctorate, that'd be a good time to do it, but I'll only do it when it feels right. So I think for me, I've kind of, when people ask me that question, I say, I'm very focused on my career, and I'll integrate traveling amongst that. Maybe one day my job will take me to a different country, and I don't want to think too far ahead into the future, but that's my standpoint right now on it. And I guess I'll shoot a question to you, because I know you want to go back to Australia, and I'm actually curious to know. Obviously, when we first started this podcast, we spoke about the things we want to make it in, and one of your things was football commentary. I'm curious, and look, that dream's not gone because you're traveling at all. I'm curious, now you have got that home in Sydney and you really like it there and you want to go back. How is that relationship now with your career, so to speak? And I'll say career, um, with the two fingers. I don't, what do you call that? I can't remember. Career, so to speak, and that commentary. What's your relationship with that now?
Well, someone said to me once when I was leaving, and I'm not going to say any names because I do like the person, but it shocked me that they said it. They said, "Why are you running away from your dreams?" And it never made sense to me, Dan, because your dreams only stop when you stop, right? They're always going to be my dreams. Why would they all of a sudden go away when I go somewhere else to travel and explore? There's an important part to anything. And in life, having added context improves a lot of things. When it comes to commentary, if you have a better understanding of certain cultures or of how the world works or of how sports works around the world, you're going to be a better commentator. I'm already a better commentator for coming out here because I understand football from a different perspective that one day I might need to use. I'm already a wiser person for it, which improves my overall life. And it's like the relationship with commentary, I don't think has died or anything like that. I think I'm still going to love it how I loved it when I was at home. It's special to me. It's amazing and I love it, and I'd still love to have a career out of it. But it's like I can do that here, and a second year does give me opportunities to actually think about long-term stuff because I've got the base now and I can expand into different things. But also it does make me think like that is great and I love it. Is it my long term? Is it? I'm asking, I don't know. But like I want to keep exploring, and I've got this opportunity to keep exploring. And if I'm not entirely 100% sure what I'd like to do, Dan, why not just explore and find things? Because it could be worse, bro. I know people that are sat and don't know what to do with their life, and they're paying, obviously with respect to you know what you want to do, but there's people that are paying thousands of pounds a year to go to university. They don't know what they want to do in life. They don't know what they want to do. They're in debt, right? I don't know what I want to do, but my choice, and everyone lives different. And I think personally that uni is a good option for certain people, and for some people it's not. For me, it wasn't. And for me, with traveling, it's this opportunity to be like, okay, I can go and explore, decide what I want to do in a different environment with different opportunities, with different perspectives, different people, a completely different way of life. And I think that it's important to open your eyes up to that perspective to discover what you do want and what you don't want from life. And you can derive what you want to derive from that. from a career perspective. And it is a shame I've not been able to commentate while being here, but I've discovered other things that I like. You know what I mean? I've got a deeper love for coaching. I feel like things that I'm passionate about, I've become more passionate about. My writing, things like that. I've become really involved with it, and I'm going to do a shameless plug, but Unbroken Sydney .blogspot.com. Jump on the latest blog. It's a pretty good one. Loads of stuff in there. But Dan, I think it's like the worst thing we can do is worry about things going away. Like people say to you when you're in your 20s, you've got to work so hard to get your dream, and then you'll have it in your 30s, and then you'll get that big promotion in your 40s. Things start to go well, and you can have a comfortable 50s, and then you can retire in your 60s. I don't think life is as linear as people make it out to be. You can start whenever you'd like to. And my point is, I just don't want to be forced down a road into a career I don't enjoy simply because I'm a young man who has to make a lot of money and try and do something that everyone else in the world is doing. I wanted to do something different. And Sydney is an amazing place where I'm happy. And the opportunity is great. Why not embrace that?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think everything's different for everyone, and that your career of being a commentator, yes, you're not gaining as much experience in the actual commentary field, but you're gaining experience as a person. And we can't, as people, we can't attach ourselves to things all the time. Life's a very fluid ball game. Like you right now, you're in Australia, you're traveling, and that's what you've got your eyes on. A couple of years down the line, you might go to yourself, you know what, I've enjoyed Australia, but maybe I do want to just focus a bit more on the career aspects. But there's no need to worry about that point just yet because you're enjoying the one right now. And we're very privileged to be very young. There's a lot ahead of us. There's no right or wrong answer, and maybe it shouldn't be as much of a fight of like career or traveling. It's just
Absolutely.
what is going on in your life right now is how it should be, and we should just be focusing on the things we truly feel we want to be doing right now.
Bro, you know what I was thinking about? And actually, I'm going to bring up something. There's been a bit of arguments within my family, as I've spoken to you about, between my dad and my sister. And it's one of the worst things is family fighting. And I don't think any of them are going to listen to this. And even if they do, I hope they do. But if they do listen to this, I want them to know I both love them very dearly. But life is too short, man. It is too short. And very, very similar to family fighting and not resolving things and it becoming too late. So is life, Dan. Life is too short and this opportunity is here. Let's take it. I'm very lucky because, and I think, like you said, we're very privileged to be young. While we're young, bro, this is the right time. And I don't want to be, not to be too morbid, I don't want to come to the end of my life, whenever that may be, and touch wood, it's a good long time when I'm ready, or when Forest get relegated to the Championship. And I want to be there and, sitting with my kids, and I want to be able to say, I don't regret this. I did it. I went out there and I did it. That's what I want. I don't want to live with regrets, bro. And when an idea pops into my mind, I'm gonna act on it. You know what I mean? Like, why not? Why shouldn't I?
I've been reading a book right now, and I want to catch this moment right now before I forget it. And he says, minimize future regret. And he's been speaking a lot about, we think a lot about, because it's about money. It's about the art of spending money. It's Morgan Housel. And he's saying, we think about saving, we think about spending money, and you can apply that to your life. You're thinking about traveling, maybe not traveling, career, not career, all these different questions we ask ourselves. And it's that question of, to kind of help yourself, how can you minimize future regret? And what I mean by that, and what he means by that, is what feels right now, which in the future you feel like you would regret if you didn't do. And by doing that, you're minimizing future regret. You're doing those things which feel like you should be doing them. So then in the future, you don't go, oh, I never actually discovered if I should have done that thing. You tried it and you found out what that thing was like, and that's where we have to ride off these feelings to minimize that future regret.
And can I also say as well, and I agree completely, can I also say I come of a place of privilege because my stepdad was 23 when he became my stepdad. You know, it's his birthday yesterday. So shout out, Meg. I love you. It's my grandma's birthday today, so shout out my grandma. I love you. And you know, I was thinking to myself, like, he fell in love with my mum. You know, when he was 23, she was a few years older, and he decided to sacrifice everything, bro. He's never been traveling like me. He's never had that. He didn't grow up with the opportunity that I have, bro. So when I ask him a question about this, he just wants me to have the best time and do it because he didn't. And also, he couldn't because he sacrificed his life to raise me. He sacrificed the opportunity to have money for himself so that I could have a good life. And it's realizing that the privilege that you're in is so important because I will never forget that. I will never forget that. And the role of parents and guardians in this world is so important, especially the step parents, man. The good ones who step in and give everything. Meg has never ever once claimed to be my dad, and he's never wanted to be. But he gave up his life for, you know, his young life for me. And so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go and do these things. And I think the minimizing regret thing is really important, bro. And it's also important we don't overthink it as well. Like, don't look at every moment of your life like, God, will I regret this when I die? Don't be like that. It's more just like, what if I never got the chance to do that second year in Australia? That would live with me forever. What if I never got to see my mates again here? You know what I mean? What's one more year going to hurt? 2 more years. You know, these things, like, what are they going to hurt? I'm always going to come home. You know, and it's, I'm trying to kind of reassure myself a little bit. That's kind of what I'm doing. But, you know, I feel like, I think we all just kind of overthink and we procrastinate about opportunities to the point we never end up doing them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that person, bro. I don't want to be it. I flat out refuse it. I want to have a good fucking life, pardon me. I want to explore. I want to see everything that I've wanted to see. I want to see all the cultures. I want to learn the languages. I want to cook food in every park that you've got going. You know, I want to see every cool little bird and crocodile and tiger, whatever you want. I want to see it all. And through that, I will discover what I'm passionate about or emphasize what I'm passionate about. And everything will come from that. And I'm a true believer in that, bro. And I just, you know, I've been a procrastinator. I've been a worrier. I am a worrier. I am a procrastinator. I just really don't want to pass upon opportunities, bro. That's it.
I love it, man. I really like it. Something I wanted to talk about this week, which came to my mind, was we speak about not caring about what others think. And I had a little think to myself the other day. I think I completely understand that saying. I mean, you have both used it on this podcast before. Don't worry too much about other people's judgment. Jump into the deep end. Do that thing you really want to do. Don't let other people hold you back. But we also should care about what others think. I care about what you think about me. I care about what my parents think of me. I care about what Scarlett thinks of me and my brother. I care about the people who are important in my life and how they see me. I want these people to see me as good people. I care about the stranger in the street. I want them to think that I'm a good person. Not because I need that as validation, but because I do care about what people think. And I think obviously I understand why that statement's used, but that statement kind of gained a new meaning for me this week. It was like we should care about what other people think in terms of being a good person, helping those people, making an impact on those people. But then we also shouldn't care about what other people think in terms of preventing us from doing the things we want to do in life. And I think that's where obviously the phrase stems from. And I just wanted to bring that up. And I thought I was a bit curious about that because I wonder what you thought about, you know, that idea of not caring what others think could also be quite dangerous because you actually start to, oh, I don't care what others think. And you almost become a bit relentless with that and you become a bit reckless. But what do you think of that almost flip side to that statement? It's almost a bit like, well, like with everything we speak about, there's a continuum to it, you know? It's all very relevant to different scenarios.
Where's your standards at, bro? That's what I'd say. Like, where's your standards at? If your standards are here, well, then you're going to listen to everyone's opinion. If your standards are here, you're going to listen to people's opinion whose matters, right? Whose opinion matters in your life? For me, you, Declan, my parents, my grandparents, like, that's it, pretty much. They're the people whose immediate opinion would affect me. Everyone else, it matters to me, but I don't know if I'm going to take it too seriously with certain things. And also, bro, like a feedback thing, you shouldn't really take advice from someone who's not doing as much as you. That's a fact. And I'm a wholehearted believer in it, bro. Because if someone isn't doing as much as you, how on earth can they relate to you about a certain thing? How can they? You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. But if you aren't working as hard as me, if you aren't passionate as much as me, how can you give me the advice that I need? You can give me advice, just not the one I need. And it's the same with opinions, bro. These people that want to give you their opinion, in my opinion, if they're not demonstrating a resilience, a passion, a love for something more than you are, then it doesn't really matter as much. The thing is, as well, a really interesting thing I heard someone say, and people call it a bit cringy, but I thought it was quite nice. It was like, who are the 5 most important people in your life? Who are the 5 people you love the most? And it's like everyone names 5 people, but no one says yourself, right? And I found that really important because I'm like, how much do we actually value our own opinions of ourselves? Other than negative ones. How often, bro, do you wake up in the morning, have a really positive thought and go, that is so important. I love myself so much. Probably not that often. You know what I mean? You don't think about it. So I just think it's really important that we value our own opinions more, bro, and the positives, and we make sure that we have high standards for whose opinions we care about. We've all got egos, bro. We all don't want to be hurt. We don't want our egos hurt. And we all sometimes move towards having more yes men than real friends. But it's so important to have those real people, bro, because they're the only people who set you right.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. I feel you. I think that's a really good statement. I think we've all got to respect ourselves, love ourselves, and care about what we think about ourselves, because we can gain a lot of self judgment and we can be negative about ourselves. So I think we need to look after ourselves at the same time, and in that way, like we always say, you can look after other people. I just wanted to mention as well, I did my UEFA C course last week. That
Fair
was a
play.
really good bounce back from not winning the league title with the lads. It was a good way to kind of like keep myself busy, learn stuff, gain new opportunities. We got to deliver. I delivered with Callum Dobson, which is pretty cool because he plays for Blythe Spartans in goal. So Derek is actually one of his coaches, funny enough.
No way.
And so we got to deliver together. We did 1v1 defending, went really well. We got told our feedback was that our mannerisms and our behaviours were excellent. It was just, how can you add even more challenge, which is a great place to be. How can you add more challenge? So I'm excited for the next block, which is going to be end of April, early May. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. It's been a good week, learned a lot, grown a lot, and it's been great to talk to you again, brother, man. And I think we spoke about some really cool things, and I always find it really exciting because recently, actually, we've not planned too much about what we say. We kind of hop on and just talk. And funny enough, some of the best podcasts come from that because we just talk. We know what we want to talk about. We've had a good week, and it's been really. I find it really insightful talking to you, and I hope the listeners gained a lot from it. And to whoever's listening right now, like we really appreciate it because you make making it.
You make making it. That is the quote of the day. And do you know what, as well? I'm going to come really close to this one and have a little chat. We try not to think of the numbers too much because a big saying by Terry Wogan is that speak to the people like there's just one of you, right? And I think even if there was just one of you, if you are the only person listening right now and that is it, we just want to have an impact on you through what we say. We want you to take things away from what we say, indirectly, directly, however you wish. The point is we just talk about our journey and what we're going through. And through that, you can go, That sounds like something I'm going through. How do they deal with it? You don't have to take our advice. We're just two lads who just talk about things. That's it. It's simple. You don't have to take our opinion, you know? But remember those standards. Keep us high. Only playing. But seriously, like, our whole point is that you don't have to listen to what we're saying, but it's just a conversation where you can take away whatever you want from it. And I really like that. I don't like lecturing. I don't like people forcing information down my throat. I don't like Dan sinking into his chair. I don't like any of these things. But that's why we're different. So, Making It Podcast, episode 63. Big old week, makingitpoddy@gmail.com. Email us, makingitpoddy on all our social medias. Get on there. Gareth Bale. See you next week.
Take it easy.
Bye.